Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warcraft Classic. Thank you so much for joining me today. I know it's been a little while since we have been in Azeroth together last. I mentioned in one of the videos that I had been visiting family in Michigan. And it took a little while once we headed back to Kansas City to get reacclimated and for life to resume some kind of ordered flow. So here we are several days after homecoming. And we're back. And we're in the Rotting Orchard today, and we are hunting down, I believe we're looking for, the Nightbane Runners. So we've already taken on several Shadow Weavers for a previous quest. And now we're just looking for the Runners, who were further back, if I remember correctly. But that doesn't mean that we're not going to have to fight through some Shadow Weavers first. There's a runner, however he is in a camp of what looks like 4, so we're going to leave that alone. Especially because they are at level with us, or above level with us. There's a runner all the way back here. And we might be able to tag him on his own. Alright, so we already got 6 out of 12. I've obviously been in this area exploring and fighting a little bit, although I don't really remember when that happened. I hope all of you guys are doing well out there in the world. I know that things have been getting crazier and crazier every day that passes. You'd think eventually you wouldn't be able to keep saying that, but it's been true every day nonetheless for a long time. Maybe since the beginning of April. I don't think there's a whole lot going on in Shadowlands news, other than new customizations to a bunch of different core races. So Night Elves, Tauren, everyone's basically getting a bunch of new customization options, which is going to really add a lot of depth to the character creation process in retail World of Warcraft. And quite frankly, that's something that the game has needed for a very long time. Character creation has always been a little bit shallow in World of Warcraft. Obviously starting back in 2004, that's kind of to be expected, but then as we move forward, a lot of our options didn't change. You know, having access to some new hairstyles every couple of years is one thing, but from some of the things I've seen from character customization in Shadowlands, you're going to have a lot more control over exactly what your character looks like, to a point where you could actually make a unique character that doesn't look like another of the same race. So that's going to be really great to see. It's been missing for a long time. Other than that, they're continuing to just work on the classes. I've watched a bunch of videos on how the core of the classes function so far in Shadowlands. Obviously really hard to think about classes right now because we're not taking into account any borrowed power systems that are going to exist later in Shadowlands. So your Covenant abilities, we're obviously not really taking those into consideration yet, at least in the content that I've watched. Which leaves it a really tough decision on what I want to play in Shadowlands. I'm fairly certain that I'm going to want to heal, so I'm thinking it's either going to be on a Paladin or a Priest. What I like about the Priest is that it has 2 different ways it can heal. We can go Discipline, or we could go Holy. What I like about the Paladin is that it has the ability to tank, melee DPS, and heal. It's that added versatility that's compelling.
That spell isn't ready yet.
Respawn rate is obviously really cranking out right now, which definitely makes sense with the number of people that are on in the zone at the moment. Weaver. We're surrounded by weavers. I think we have to actually get like further to the south though. But we're aggroing stuff.
My mana is low.
We only need 4 more. So I don't know how deep I want to get in here. I'd like to be able to be beating a hasty retreat when we're done, I guess. I don't really want to hearth because after this I want to run us over to the Ravenhill Cemetery. Because we also need to get the rest of our plague spreaders.
I can't cast that one.
Let's just go ahead and use that now. Don't see why not. Look, if we just stand here long enough, all these guys, all these corpses are gonna respawn anyway. Well, let's see if we can find just one more. This is kind of taking us into a different area, continuing to head east like that. I don't really want to fight that guy, but he's probably going to insist if we go that way. Well, we might not have much choice except to work our way further back through the Shadow Weavers, or wait for respawns, which is not exciting and usually only happens to you when you don't really want it to. Here's a runner. We can just grab this guy and we can put a pin in this quest, call it done.
Out of range.
There you go. Something about the Paladin that is very different even in Classic than the other classes that I've played is that you're not hitting buttons except maybe what? I'd say 60% of the time you're hitting a button, the rest of the time you're letting your white swings take care of the damage. I will just say it has the most amount of downtime in the rotation as any other class I've played. So that could be a really huge benefit to you, or detriment depending on the kind of player you are and how much you want to have to pound your number keys and action bars. Alright, let's run over to the Ravenhill Cemetery and see if we could take on some plague spreaders. We've already got 5 out of 20 just from having been in the area, fighting them while doing other quests. And everything here is yellow now, so we should be able to take care of it. We do have the Embalmer's Heart. Okay, so there's a grave behind one of the houses up here. And we need to find that grave. Probably click on it if I had to guess. But it's an elite quest, so maybe it changed into a quest to kill Morladim. I am not certain of that. I did go over to the wetlands just to make sure that we had another place to quest, basically. And there are some quests there that we could pick up. And also in the wetlands we need to be working on the Lightforged Iron. And I think I know where that is. I think it's just north of the town off on the coast. I remember doing the quest on the Warrior. So it shouldn't be too hard to complete. Not really pressing at the moment, seeing as it's still a yellow quest. And I can get us over there quite easily. Would probably just take care of that quest off of recording. I think it changed into something to fight one of the multiple elites here in Duskwood. Eventually this stuff is going to get sick of fighting us, because we're going to be at such a higher level than it. Though that may take a while. I thought about just playing a DPS class in Shadowlands, thinking that maybe playing a role like DPS would let me focus more on capturing recording, and I want to be doing streaming, so I feel like maybe that'd be easier to interact with you guys if I was just on a DPS class, but I keep being pulled towards healing. It's something that I've always done in group scenarios that I enjoy a lot.
That's still recharging.
So it's very likely that I'll probably end up settling on a healer for Shadowlands.
That spell isn't ready yet.
Alright, let's find us some plague spreaders that aren't being pulled by this gnome mage who is apparently doing some AoEing.
It's too far away.
Well, we could have got a heal off first, and maybe some mana back even would have been really good idea. Let's back it up. We're having the same respawns that we've seen to the south are now happening here as well. This mage is still kiting these guys. I was gonna say at level 24, being at level with these guys almost, I wasn't sure that was gonna go well for him, and it doesn't look like it did. Let's go ahead and drink some sweet nectar and get our mana back. I'm glad that a lot of these guys are out on the surface. We can go into these catacombs, and we may in fact need to do so later on if this chains into yet another Night Watch quest, but we don't have to right now. Maybe we do have to right now. I guess we are kind of being surrounded by other players here. This guy doesn't look like he's gonna make it either. Maybe he's bailing. Yeah, he's bailing, so they're all gonna reset. Let's be careful of that. Flesh eaters. Let's pull this plague spreader out.
I need to get closer. That's still recharging.
Six stamina versus 1 intellect and 2 stamina. We're gonna take the 6 stamina for a slight health boost.
It's too far away.
How did we not get that tagged? That's actually annoying. I guess he had rend on it, and the rend must have ticked as soon as we hit him with judgment. Oh well. And now he's got aggro on us, and this guy is being basically useless. I mean, he's level 23 and this guy is level 28. There's no way. It's not gonna go in your favor, Teton Judd. That was his name. Teton Judd.
I'm out of range. I can't pass that yet.
That was not the button I wanted, but it's okay. We'll still use it. One of you commented that, you know, using consecration is probably a waste of mana, and therefore probably a waste of a talent point. And you're probably right. I like consecration because it's another button to press. Honestly, that was one of the reasons I grabbed it. I like the fantasy of like the holy paladin using holy abilities to damage their enemies. I really like that fantasy a lot. So as part of that, I like having consecration as part of my rotation. Regardless of what spec I'm playing as a paladin, I like consecration in there. So I kind of grabbed it just as flavor, but totally acknowledging at this point that it probably wasn't a smooth pick. We could have then put just the point into our increased healing so that when we do dungeons, we'll be able to actually heal them effectively. Beyond that, beyond just grabbing healing light points here, I think we're going to have to go double back now and start putting points into one of the other trees. The reason I want to grab improved healing is because I do have a strong interest in healing on this character. I want to do some 5-man content and hopefully some later game content as a healing paladin. But we'll see how that works out. Obviously a lot has to come together first before any of that can happen, including gear and, well, time on my part. Not seeing a lot of plague spreaders down here. Let's head back up top side. Kind of farmed out up here too. If we go deeper down there, we might find more, but boy, were there a lot of ghouls that we didn't need down there. We need 11 more plague spreaders though, and we're not going to find them out here. That's the real kicker, is we can wait around out here, we might catch a couple respawns, but... And having been down in these catacombs before, I think they're kind of expansive, and I think there's a rear exit, like where you go through a tunnel and you can come out somewhere else. Are you like grouped up? Because if you're not,
It's too far away.
then you should be. You aren't in a party. What does that mean? You have invited Fair to join your group. Okay. He declined. It said something different before. It said we weren't in a party. I don't understand that. Well, he wants to solo it. That's fine with me. We don't need any of these guys back here. Just grinding experience. About the level. Maybe he did get both invites. That's probably why he messaged me. Shit though, is he okay? He's fine. He's a priest, man, and he's a dwarf priest at that. These guys I don't need though. Oh wait, there's one plague spreader back there. It's like, is it worth it to go through all these brain eaters? And he might grab the guy we need, actually. That's a possibility. Let's see if we can just kind of skirt this wall and just grab this plague spreader. And maybe even circumvent these guys to get to that area over there. What could go wrong? I do see how much that must cost a lot. 135 mana. Yeah, nothing else we do costs anywhere near that amount. Except our heals. Well, except for Holy Light, mainly. Alright, well we can keep going this way if we're careful. We're probably going to have to fight some of these that we don't actually need for the quest. Like this guy right here, there's simply no way we're getting around it. Let's be smart about it instead. We could really use a weapon upgrade. That would be amazing. A nice big boost to our damage output. I wouldn't mind that at all. Also on the topic of Shadowlands, and you guys can probably tell that I've spent a lot of my downtime thinking about Shadowlands and future plans for the channel. I need to find a guild. The guild I had been in, which was guys that me and my friend had played with for years, 5 or 6 years we played together. We played WoW, we played Aeon, we played Star Wars The Old Republic together. Tried a bunch of different MMOs, always came back to World of Warcraft. And then this last expansion, you know, a lot of people just kind of decided they weren't going to play the game anymore, that it wasn't going to be like previous expansions. Even previous expansions that we didn't care for, we typically raided through the expansion. And Battle for Azeroth was the one time that, you know, we did that first tier of raiding that released, tried to get into the second tier of raiding that released, and then no one was interested. No one wanted to sign on just to grind AP. Nobody was having fun with the game, and we split up. Everyone went their separate ways. Some people went to other games in smaller groups, but it was kind of decided that that guild was not going to reform in World of Warcraft at any point, which is unfortunate. There were some people in the guild who I'd known for a long time and really liked playing with. And though it is time to move on and try to either put together or find a new guild where we can do some raiding, hopefully. And maybe not mythic raiding, I'm more of a heroic raiding kind of guy. That's where I like to exist, right in that heroic range. Doing some mythic plus 5 men, that's always a lot of fun, but if we're talking about raiding, probably not going to be doing a lot of mythic raiding. Although that could always change. Everything changes, right? And for Shadowlands, I'm playing on Zul'jin. Zul'jin is the server that I play on in retail WoW. Whereas the server that we're playing on here in Classic is Westfall. I mean, to be quite frank, I need a guild in Classic too, just of some like-minded individuals to reach out to here and there to do some of these elite quests and generally have a good time with. Alright, lots of brain eaters. We're just gonna have to continue carefully working through these guys. Maybe this guy wants a group. Nobody wants groups anymore. They're probably just like grinding XP, I guess. Like that's what the one guy was doing. I don't know about grinding XP at this level, unless of course, I guess the mage could AoE grind, but you're probably better off just to do the quests. I don't really know what's happening here, but we pulled some aggro that I don't like. I hope he doesn't have us on his aggro chain somehow. That would be very, very disconcerting. Huh. I'm not digging how close he's pulling them to us. Okay, that's not good. The fact that we are still in combat is kind of indicating to me that somehow we're on that mage's aggro chain. Which means a couple of things. Okay, good. They've all dropped. I was getting worried that when the mage fell over, they were all gonna run for us. I'm still... Maybe we just body pulled that second one. Maybe it had nothing to do with the mage. It just seemed like weird timing. We need to get some food as well. I realize this. Here's a plague spreader just out here in the open in this room. We'll take the easy kill here. Well, he didn't eat it. He must have downed those guys. Oh, thanks for the intellect, buddy. Can I give you something? I probably can give you wisdom. Look at that. No! Whoops. There we go. And now we we want might. We want might. He doesn't want might. I don't think he wants might. Alright, let's get this plague spreader over here. Maybe we can body pull him. Let's start working our way out a little bit. Oh, hello.
I need more men.
Okay, let's fix this. Okay, that was not enough time to fix anything. Well, we'll see how this goes. This could be shit. We have lay on hands, so... Just what we don't have, though, is mana. To even get our seal back up. I want to save Lay on Hands if I can. I also don't want to take an unlucky crit and go down, but we got lucky there, we're okay. Can we get some mana back before all of these guys claw their way out of the ground and devour our flesh? I'm impressed by mages who can do this. I really am. Our mage is a higher level, and this guy's pulling higher level than him enemies. He's doing a damn good job. I need to watch some guides on how to have our mage doing that. Because that would probably be the only way that I would just grind experience. I mean, if you're doing single target experience grinding, then you're playing the wrong game. I'd recommend EverQuest. Come on! Oh, we got it. EverQuest or Final Fantasy 11. If you just want to grind on mobs. Or Aeon. Aeon was a good game where you could just fight enemies, and if they were at your level, you just find the enemies that your class works really well against, and you spend hours fighting them. And if that's what you like, there's nothing wrong with that style of gameplay. But unless you're AoE killing in Classic, oh, it's so difficult and time consuming just to fight enemies for experience alone. I do want to stay way out of his way. Look at this though, this guy, do you see how he turned at us? We pulled this guy, and we're not in the party with this mage, but we're somehow getting some kind of aggro. We've even aggroed all of them. I'm pretty concerned about this. Mainly because I don't understand what's happening. You see how they kept looking towards us? That guy is gonna go down. Probably at the worst possible time for us. See how he has us in combat with all those guys?
My mana is low.
I'm not digging that, necessarily.
I need more mana.
I am not digging that at all. I want to get out of the room with that guy. I don't know what's happening there, but whatever... Shit. Whatever game interaction is happening there, it's a bad one. And to me, that's a little buggy. Let's see if we could take this guy out with zero mana, basically. We're going to. It's just going to be a little tedious. White swings for the win. When I say white swing, if you're not familiar, I'm referring to just the color of the damage number.
Not enough mana.
Normal attacks come up in white. Ability attacks, their damage appears in yellow. Well, respawn rate for the win. If we could down this guy and then maybe actually drink some of our water, that would be amazing. But we're probably gonna have to lay on hands if this keeps up. Okay, let's drink. This is getting a little intense for me. I'd like to finish this guy off right here, and that would be 20. And then I think we can just hearth. These should both turn back in Darkshire. Alright, let's heal up.
I need to get closer. That's still recharging.
And we'll watch our back here. Since we know the respawn rate is already kind of high. I say we just hearth it. Don't risk anything. We did pretty well not to bite it down here at all, so I'm gonna call that a victory.
Can I help you?
On behalf of the people of Darkshire, and as the leader of the Night Watch, I thank you for your bravery and dedication. May the light shine upon you always. 12-slot ammo pouch that we don't need, a 10-slot bag that we do want, and a quiver. This would have been a really great quest for a hunter. Oh, we pick. Okay, well that makes sense. Let's take the bag that's actually going to be useful to us.
Farewell.
What happened there? We should just be able to replace a bag. I don't know why that worked. Very, very unusual. Okay. It can't have anything in it, perhaps? Whoops. Alright, and she did not have a follow-up. We also have to go to the Moonbrook Schoolhouse, so we're going to do that soon. And then this is the guy who wanted us to take care of the Worgen. He's not part of the Night Watch.
Need help?
His organization's a little different. You performed well against the Dark Runners, but it seems as though their numbers are inexhaustible. Every time we make progress, more spring up to refill their ranks. What is the evil power that draws them here? Why have they come to disturb our unhappy realm? I will put my faith in Master Kervin. No doubt, he will get to the bottom of the problems. Worgen of the Woods Part X. Your previous accomplishments have convinced me that you are ready to take on the toughest Worgen infesting the woods. Of the Worgen that have made their new home here, the Vile Fangs and the Tainted Ones have proven the most dangerous. They've settled down near some caves and in the mine to the south. From far away, you can even see the light from their bonfires. 8 Nightbane Vilefang, 8 Nightbane Tainted One, and these are Worgens.
For the Alliance.
More Worgens. They're probably going to be down in this cave, I would guess. That's directly south and the only cave I'm seeing besides the one in the Ogre Mound, so no doubt that's where we'll find those fellas. I think this is going to be a good place for us to take a little break though, so thank you guys so much for joining me today. Your support, it means a ton to me, especially in these times. It really does. To be able to get on here and play WoW with you guys is one of the things I look forward to the most. So I hope that we will see you again soon. Take care of yourselves out there, and bye for now.